in Florida, an exodus of people fleeing, rising anti-immigrant sentiment. SB 1718. This is considered one of the toughest immigration laws in the country. Penalizes employers for using undocumented labor, prohibits undocumented people from having driver's licenses, and defines giving an undocumented person a ride into the state of Florida as human smuggling. It also requires hospitals to include questions about immigration status. Manuel Vasquez, an owner of an ice cream parlor, most of his customers are immigrants, and this is what he said. They were uncertain about what would happen next. They had no choice but to drive to work, and were worried. What if I don't make it back home? What happens to my family? My children. You can point to the study done by Stanford University about anti-immigrant rhetoric being at an all-time high or on the rise. The study found a striking similarity between how Mexican immigrants are framed today and how Chinese immigrants were framed during the era of Chinese exclusion in the late 19th century. And the state of Michigan did that study too. They also found that both Stanford and Michigan found that Republicans are more significantly likely than Democrats to use dehumanizing language to describe immigrants. You can say it's misinformation about the border and immigration policies / immigration in general. You can say it has something to do with quote-unquote dark skin. You can pick whatever reason you want to tell yourself why they're passing this bill or why they passed this bill. It's to make the undocumented people in this country worried. What if I don't make it back home? Oh, don't worry, you will make it back home. Right back to your home country where you belong. I mean, you could argue anti-immigrant sentiment is growing, but why would it not? We have foreign people coming in here, and they receive priority over American citizens who've been living here for their whole lives. We don't want any more illegal aliens. We don't need any more illegal aliens. We want to send the ones we have back to where they came from because we have too many of them. I mean, quite frankly, we're dealing with such extreme immigration, both illegally and legally right now. And the impeachment of Mayorkas failed. He's arguably one of the biggest shows responsible for this whole mess. These illegal foreigners, they come in here illegally and they are allowed to stay in hotels, former VA housing buildings, and most recently, schools for special needs students. West Prep Academy in Manhattan, New York, a 170-student school on the Upper West Side serving primarily children with disabilities and special needs. Illegal people who don't even belong here are getting shelter while we have homeless Americans. According to a recent Gallup poll, immigration is at the top of the list for most important problem facing the United States. It's at 28%, up from 20%. That was last time they did the poll, I think. I mean, it is concerning when you have an unlimited number of people coming from what seems to be like an unlimited number of countries into this country just to take our resources. Nobody wants to be that person. We need to deport every illegal alien in here. I mean, in every state. After we do that, we need to seal the border, at least until we manage to get out of the $30 trillion in debt. Once we kick all the illegal aliens out, once we seal the border, we have to get all those chodes who took out a college loan. Yeah, we gotta get them to pay the loans back. Unfortunately, we may have to do away with food stamps / SNAP benefits. One step at a time, we will reduce the debt that we have from 30 trillion to nothing. And I am proud to say that I am anti-immigrant in that way. We have to help ourselves first before anyone else.